Come in here, Danny.
Sad. Hey man, you going to Camp's party tonight?
Davina's ass watertight.
You're fucking sick, man.
Alright, relax. Let me ask you a few questions.
Oh man, I'm not in the mood. I got homework to do.
Tell me some of the shit you've learned, fuck-ass, before I pistol whip you.
Okay. I believe in death, destruction, chaos, filth, and greed.
Cut the shit, Dan. Come on. Tell me what I want to hear, asshole.
You mean that shit about your mother, man?
You want to get fucking beaten, Danny? I'm not fucking talking to you, Davina. Why don't you shut up?
Look, you gotta let me do this my own way, all right? I'll take care of it.
Who do you hate, Danny?
I hate anyone that isn't white Protestant.
Why?
They're a burden to the advancement of the white race. Some of them are alright, I guess.
None of them are fucking alright, Danny, okay? They're all a bunch of fucking freeloaders. Remember what Cam said? We don't know them, we don't want to know them. They're the fucking enemy. Now what don't you like about them? And say it with some fucking conviction.
I hate the fact that it's cool to be black these days.
Good.
I hate this hip-hop fucking influence on white fucking suburbia.
Good.
And I hate Tabitha Soren and all her Zionist MTV fucking pigs telling us we should get along. Save the rhetorical bullshit, Hillary Rodham Clinton, because it ain't gonna fucking happen.
That's some of the best shit I've ever heard.
History of complicated and heated presidential elections. What's different this time is that the biggest political event of the last 4 years is happening amid the coronavirus pandemic, an unprecedented level of civil unrest sparked by the death of George Floyd, and the rise of the radical groups on both sides of the political spectrum.
Right now, we're breaking a city ordinance. Where the cops at?
These groups attract very angry members who have taken to the streets, making protests look like full-scale war.
What you've seen here was only a taste of what's about to happen.
These demonstrators are sometimes heavily armed, and they are not afraid of violence or law enforcement.
If you want a war, let it begin with us.
We're going to travel across the U.S. over the next week to meet these groups and their leaders to find out how far they're ready to go to fight for what they believe is good for this country. We are in Virginia to meet members of a group called the Boogaloo Boys. The Boogaloo Boys have been around for several years now, but they recently came into the media spotlight during the summer's anti-lockdown and anti-government protests. In August, several dozen heavily armed men in tactical gear carrying big guns showed up for a rally in Virginia's capital, Richmond.
All of the rights to all of the people! All rights to all the people!
Among the demonstrators were the Boogaloo Boys, who could be identified from their bright Hawaiian shirts they wear beneath their bulletproof vests. This became one of their symbols, their style, if you will. It's been reported in the American press that many of the movement's adherents are preparing for a second civil war. So now we're about to meet one of the most prominent Boogaloo Boys, Mike Dunn, a flamboyant 20-year-old former Marine from Virginia who was at the forefront of an armed protest in this state.
I don't incite violence, I incite defense.
Explain me about the black bloc. What is it?
It's a tactic of covering everything from head to toe in black that leaves nothing else showing but the eyes. That's the exact same part of the tactic. Look at the police force that's down there. What are they wearing? They're wearing black from head to toe with body armor. We're not afraid of them. We're not afraid of the people who are supposed to be here to serve us and to protect us. They're the ones that are going to be afraid.
We met
met a few Boogaloo boys at the rally in Lansing, and some of them invited us to one of their shooting practices. All of them are big gun enthusiasts, and it would be really interesting to see them in a more relaxed and informal setting. What do you guys do for a living?
I work in a factory. That's about all I want to say.
But I mean, you all have like regular jobs,
Yep.
Yeah,
families.
tax-paying, you know, 9-to-5 jobs.
We're just normal people. I mean, we go about our day, we go to work, we pay our bills, we take care of our families.
So I know that the gun sales soared in the U.S. Is that something that's bothering you?
Glad that they're buying arms because it's their constitutional right to do so.
Yep.
To defend themselves if need be.
I mean, aren't you afraid that the country may be on the path that leads to greater civil conflict, revolution, civil war?
I do worry that we are headed down that path. I think it is, it is inevitable. Americans have 3 ways to voice their opinions. You have the voice box, you have the ballot box, and unfortunately, you have the cartridge box. I worry what becomes of our election. It's a wait-and-see approach right now. Trump doesn't get reelected, then blah, blah, blah is going to happen. Or if Biden doesn't get reelected, there's going to be more rioting.
Politics have become so polarizing, I don't see either side conceding, no matter which candidate wins.
Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens.
There is no more conversations happening. In the Boogaloo movement, we do feel concerned for what happens when the talking stops.